Okay. Yes. Salakia, give me 1 second here. All right. Again, Salakia. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabrakatah to the Akim. Shalom, Yahweh Shemar Alatah Bashem Yahshah to the Akwath. I am Officer of 1,000 Awadja. This is the Detroit Law Class, again under Commander General Yohana. Make sure y'all like and share these classes, man, and get them out there to our brothers and sisters who need the classes. Okay. That way we can wake more brothers and sisters up, man, in this truth. All right. Today we're gonna be talking about some things about Christianity. Christianity. Because before I learned about the truth, me personally, as a lot of us, we all had some tie into Christianity. We was affiliated and associated with it in one way or another because you couldn't get away with it because it's like away from it. Even a lot of us, the only time we went to the only time we went to church was on Easter Sunday. Okay, that's what we did. But it's just a big money grab, man. It's a big money grab, and the Lord is destroying Christianity, man. Because the Lord is sick and tired of what? Of our people, of us doing what? Following false leaders. Following leaders that lead us to our destruction. All right? Some kind of way. Well, it ain't some kind of way. It's the way the oppressor sets things up. He sets up and put leaders over us that destroy us. Okay? They don't teach us to follow the law, statutes, and commandments, but they teach us how to do what? Continue in sin. Christian pastors, fake Israelite groups, if you were into Islam and all that, all of these things are stumbling blocks. All of these things are things that are what? Things that are in our way that keep us from doing what? Keep us from following the law, statutes, and commandments. Then when a UPK brother say, nah, man, come on, man, put that Islam down. That's an Arab religion, man. Come back to your God. You ain't even trying to hear that brother. You ain't trying to listen to that brother. You ain't trying to do anything because what? You giving all your love to another nation. You following after the laws and the customs of another nation. Not realizing what? The Lord laid these things out, these laws, statutes, and commandments, these rules and regulations, this way to live life. He laid them out for you, black man, Hispanic man, and Native American man. You having troubles in your marriage? The Bible is the answer to solve those problems that you have inside of your marriage, man. You having trouble leading your woman? The Bible is the answer to leading your woman. You think you a man and you ain't following these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you ain't doing it the way the Lord said to do? How can it be right? How can it be right? The Lord said things, the Lord, think about the Lord that created everything, right? He gave us a way to live our life and said if we don't live it this way, we will be destroyed. And because we not living it this way, we are destroyed. I think we all can agree. That's something that we all can agree on. Okay? That's something we all can agree on. It destroys us to live like these other nations. But because of what? Because of poor leadership, man. Because we follow all these other fake religions and false doctrines, man, that do what? They give us bits and pieces. They give us bits and pieces of the Bible to suit whatever it is that they got going on. Because it's real suitable. If you don't know, it's real suitable for somebody to tell you you can do whatever you want to do. It don't matter what you want to do. God love you anyway, and you gonna get the kingdom regardless. Your homeboy, you know, he done shot up the whole block 17 times. So all the drugs in the world, he get unalived. And the pastor at his funeral say he with the Lord now. Like according to their beliefs, if you do wrongful stuff, you going to hell, and then if you do right stuff, you get to go to heaven. So how would he make it to heaven? So it makes it hard for a lot of our people to come in here when they so used to doing whatever it is that they want to do. Christianity is just a religion of you. Meaning, when I say of you, it means whatever you think is right, you can do it. You can justify, you can justify it however you want to justify it. That's why it has sayings, stupid sayings talking about God know my heart. That's why it has dumb sayings like that. You saying that while you're sinning. Christianity is the only place that will have you still living in this hell and telling you that you saved. You're doing everything you're not supposed to do. And because you said you know Jesus in your heart, you saved and you ain't got to worry about going to, according to their doctrine, again, going to hell. That is stupid. That is stupid. You still catching all kind of hell on it, all kind of hell. All right. It is something that harms us. And it harms us because it turns us away from our God. Okay. Let's get Jeremiah 23 and 1. We'll start there. Jeremiah 23 and 1. Oh, Salakia too. If y'all got any questions or things of that nature, just drop them in the chat. Definitely I'll get to them for sure. So yeah, just drop y'all questions in the chat. And I'm gonna try to get to them as we going along, of course. What in the heck is going on here? Slacker, give me 1 second. I'm trying to. It's like, give me 1 second. All right, Salaki about that. So if you're in the Cleveland area too, thank y'all for tuning in today. Salaki, give me 1 second. I'm trying to we just gonna rock it. So get Jeremiah 23 and 1. We'll start at 1. Let's get it. Right? Y'all there with me? Let's rock. It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastor. So this is what the Lord is saying, man. It says woe. What does that woe mean? That woe means destruction, man. That woe means destruction. It means don't listen to Creflo Dollar, who said, what did he say? Who teach you you can tide your way out of this. Who said all the laws done away with, even a 10, you ain't got to listen to none of that. You ain't got to listen to a word of that mess. All right? This is stuff they've been teaching for 20, 30, 40 years. But now that the Lord is starting to put his word out, and now the prophets is coming out of the UPK, what's happening? What did he say after that? He said, throw all my books away. He's been teaching that nonsense for 30 years. But the Lord is starting to do what? Let his people hear the voice of the prophets, man. That's why every year our school is growing. Every year this school grows, man. All right. Read it again. It says, woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. So how do they destroy? How do they scatter and destroy? That's a good question. How do they scatter and destroy? They scatter and destroy. They scatter and destroy by doing what? How do they destroy you? Let's start there. First of all, okay, it says scatter and destroy. So let's start with scatter. How do we get scattered? We get scattered because just think about Christianity alone, right? You got Baptist, Pentecostal, non-denominational. I said Baptist, Pentecostal, non-denominational. You got Catholic. You got all these different variations of Christianity, right? Then what else you got? You got Islam. That's another way we get scattered because we into so many different things. Okay, we into so many different things. We following this way, we following that way, and I don't even really even like talking about that African mumbo jumbo. I don't even like really even talking about that because that's at this point that's just beating a dead horse. That stuff is proven to be so over with that we kind of done with that. Yeah, we kind of done with that and over with that, man. That's that stuff. The Lord went in there and destroyed, sent Captain Tazariak in there to destroy. And that's what he did. Most High in Christ, all right? So that's a way that we get scattered, man. We following all these different philosophies and all these different religions and all these different what is the Wicca stuff where people believe worship the trees or whatever garbage that is. Um, what else is it? It's one more, but you get what I'm saying. I can't think of all of the foolishness and Buddhism and all of the foolishness that our people that we worship. And because we worship these things, man, guess what we not doing? We not following what the Lord told us to do, man. We let all these other things because we listening to some nut. Half of y'all only listen to pastors because the pastor dressed nice. You see him in his gaiters and his three-piece suit. Meanwhile, you and your family can barely pay the bills. You can barely pay the bills and got to eat at the soup kitchen. So you see him in his gator shoes and three-piece suit and his Cadillac, and you think God is with him. Meanwhile, he is robbing you. He's scattering you. And he doing what? And it says destroy. How is he destroying you? It's multiple ways that he's destroying you. He's destroying you with his philosophy, the things that he is teaching you. Think about think about the mindset you would have if your mindset was if every brother and sister mindset was I'm an Israelite and I got to keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. I'm not supposed to eat that. I'm not supposed to treat her like that. I'm not supposed to do this. I'm not supposed to conduct myself in that manner. That's a brother. Let me deal with him in this manner. Think about, think about, think about how different our life would be. Because it's not just us blacks, us so-called Negroes here in America. Think about the tribe of Issachar right next to us in Mexico. Think about how we would all deal with all the rest of the tribes all over the world, man. But instead of us dealing with each other like that, we can't deal with each other, or we cannot unite with one another because what? Because some of our Issachar brother is into Mormonism, which is insane. A lot of our Issachar brothers is what they love, Catholic, worshiping Mary and baby Jesus and all that old ridiculous stuff. They don't want to hear. They don't want to hear about the Black Christ. Nah, they don't want to hear about that. They want to hear about oppressor Christ. That's the Christ that they love. Okay? And that's what happens, man. Because of these fake philosophies and fake religions and our love for everybody else except ourselves, man, we get destroyed because of those things. We get destroyed because of those things, man. But the good news is, man, finally, the Lord is he's starting to pull our people that as we get closer to the end, the Lord is starting to pull us out of this nonsense, man. Okay. Reading on, verse 2, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. You have scattered my flock and driven them away. And that's another thing right there, man. When you look at a lot of our brothers and sisters into these other religions and into these other things, they into it. A lot of them are into it because Christianity failed them. They looked at that. They looked at that and saw the hustle. They looked right into it and saw the hustle in it and said, you know what, man, I ain't about to be a part of this nonsense. I don't want no part of this foolishness, man. People shaking and rolling on the ground. They came in there, they looked at that and said, what the hell is this? The hell is going on in here? And what did they do? They went and joined something else. They went and found another religion. Some of them, what they say nowadays, they just spiritual. If you out there and you in the chat and you know what just being spiritual is, can you type it in so I can know? Because I don't have a clue as to what the hell that is. I need somebody to tell me what being spiritual is. Because I have no clue. All right. And again, man, if y'all got any questions or anything like that, just put it in the chat, man, and I'll get to it. It ain't no sweat. All right. I got y'all. Yeah. Tell me what being spiritual is because I have no clue. I've been trying to figure it out. No one is telling me what being spiritual is. All right. Just give me 1 second right quick. Let me check and make sure I do not have any questions. All right. So yeah. So reading on. I would say. Forgive me. Reading on. Says you have scattered my flock and driven them away and have not visited them. When it says not visited them, what does that mean? Do it mean stop by your house and kick it with you, have a shot with you? Is that what it means? Is that what it's talking about? Stop over your house for dinner? Is that what it means when it say has not visited him? No, that's not what it means when it says it has not visited them. Meaning our people are suffering, right? You are a spiritual and moral leader, right? You see the suffering of the people, you do nothing to help heal them, to help ease their suffering. Because, and you cannot do it because you don't have any real answers. You don't have real solutions. The Lord doesn't hear your prayers. The Lord is not with you. You're not men of wisdom. You teach for gain. That's all you care about, what you can get from the people so you can live deliciously. While their lights get cut off, while their water get turned off, while they starve, you live deliciously off of them. All right? It says, behold, I will visit you, I will visit upon you the evil of your doings, saith the Lord. And that's what the Lord said, man. He said he's gonna visit upon you the evils of your doing. Because what have they done? They lived great off of you. All right. And what is the Lord doing? The Lord is emptying out them churches, man. He is emptying out the churches, man. And we're going to read about it right here. I got this article right here, man. We're going to read what the Lord is doing, man. All right. Soon, soon, instead of you being in the soup kitchen, they'll be in the soup kitchen. That's what's going to happen. Instead of your lights getting cut off, their lights will be getting cut off, man. The Lord said He's gonna visit that evil back up on their head. Okay. This is an article from The Guardian. They just did this last year. All right. It says churches are closing at rapid numbers in the US. It says researchers say as congregations dwindle across the country and a younger generation of Americans abandoned Christianity altogether. Now that's the thing. It said a younger generation is abandoning Christianity altogether. Excuse me, give me 1 second. Slacking about that, y'all. As y'all know, we are a food program too, so you know, we ain't like Christianity. We feed our people in here, right? We visit our people. We don't just leave them out there with nothing. We visit them. Okay. This goes on to say, altogether, even as faith continues to dominate American politics, as the U.S. adjusts to increasingly non-religious population, thousands of churches are closing each year in the country because thousands of churches are wise. Thousands of church. If church is the answer, if we in a, look at the condition of blacks and Hispanics in this country, right? If Christianity and church is the answer, why are they emptying out and being closed like this, man? For the very same reason the Lord said. What did the Lord say? The Lord said what? Said he gonna visit them for their evil, man. And the Lord is making those churches close rapidly. They used the word, that's what they said. This their word. They said rapidly. They are closing, man. Because what? Because people are starting to realize it's nothing more than a hustle. It's nothing more than a hustle. If you can do, if you can do whatever it is you want to do, what difference does it make if you go to church or don't? You're going to do the same thing if you're going to church or if you're not going to church. It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same exact thing. It's going to have the same result. So what the hell do you need to go to church for? You don't need it to do whatever the hell you want to do. You just go out and do whatever you want to do. That's how you know that is not of God. This Bible that the Lord gave us, man, it has rules. It's like it has rules, regulations, and things that you're supposed to do. I never understood Christianity. You can open the Bible and God say, do this, do that, do this, do that. You can read that, see that, and say, well, God said I ain't got to do none of that. Like that makes absolutely no sense. You're gonna pick up the Bible, read it, say you believe in it, but then do nothing that it says. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. It's a hustle. You getting hustled, man. You are getting hustled. Read a little bit more of this. Okay. It says a figure that experts believe may have accelerated since the COVID-19 pandemic. It says the situation means some hard decisions for pastors who have who have to decide when a dwindling congregation is no longer sustainable, meaning their funds is getting short. All that money that they had coming in, it ain't coming in no more. So they got to make a tough decision. Think about the UPK, man. Right? We got schools. If it's one brother or one sister there, that school got to stay open for that one brother or sister so we can build and bring more in. Wake up more brothers and sisters. We going out there, we putting in the work. We doing food drives. We out there passing out flyers. We linking up with other joints going to camp. We out there working. We out there fishing. It's a constantly fishing thing to wake brothers and sisters up. These bastards want to just lay up there and do nothing but take your money. They don't understand doing the work of the Lord. They know nothing about what it takes to build something of the Lord. It's a work, man. You can't go out there and do nothing because you don't have anything to heal the people. Because like we read earlier, what it say? You haven't visited them. You don't know nothing about doing all of that, man. Commander General Yohana send his men out there. He equip us to go out there and visit our people, man. We equipped and taught properly how to go out there and deal with our people, man. Because how? Because we come in the aspect of what? Of a genuine love for one another, a real genuine brotherhood that we offering, man. We're not coming out there shucking and jiving. We're not coming out there with some to talk real good and sound real nice. As a matter of fact, most of our people can't stand what we got to say, but we tell them the truth nevertheless, man. We tell them the truth nevertheless. The ISUPK, we are the only place that actually tells our brothers and sisters the 100% truth. Finally, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we have a place where we can come to and we won't get lied to, man. We finally have that, man, here in the UPK under Commander General Yohana, man. It says, with dwindling congregation, when dwindling congregation is no longer sustainable, again, that means all their money is not the money ain't coming in like they need to, like they want to. The car notes ain't getting paid and things of that nature. They like, F this. I ain't about to keep coming in here every Sunday. Ain't no more money in it. It's like a business. It's like a business that that you losing money in. What you do at some point is sometimes it's just time to close the door and say to hell with the business, right? Because if they was with the Lord, what would they do? They would say, the Lord gonna put me through this, man. Because I stand with him. That's what they would say. They would say, the Lord gonna put me through this because I stand with the Lord. They would say, I don't know how this gonna end up, but I'm gonna say this for sure. I'm gonna ride with the Lord. When you ride with the Lord, whatever the rough time is that you're going through, and I know a lot of us done seen some rough times, man. So whatever rough time it is that you're going through, when you ride with the Lord, guess what? The Lord is going to pull you out of it. Because he's taking you through that to do what? A lot of it is just a trying time to see if you're going to do what? If you're going to fold, if you're going to break, or are you truly going to stand with the Lord, man? Are you truly going to stand with the Lord? They was never with the Lord. So it's not, even though it's saying it's a tough decision, it's not a tough decision for them. They're just seeing they ain't making the profits that they want to make. And then like any person with any kind of business, he's saying, all right, I'm on to the next business. This business done ran its course. I'm on to the next business. Like any businessman would, because that's what it is to them. It's a business. It ain't about the Lord. Finish this up and then I'm going to get back to the scriptures. But it also has credited a booming market for those wanting to buy churches. I mean, it's a booming market because they what? They empty. The Lord closing that nonsense down. Those churches is empty. 4 sale signs on them. That's what the Lord did to them, man. It says, with former houses of worship now finding new life. The Lord is emptying them churches out, man. Emptying them out. It said it's a booming market, man. All right. Let's get Ezekiel the 34th chapter. Ezekiel the 34th chapter. All right. And we're going to pick it up at 7. 34 and 7. 34 and 7. Okay. All right. Ezekiel 34 and 7, and it reads, therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 8, as I live, saith the Lord, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field. So how do we become the prey? How do we become the prey? Think about that. We became the prey because what? Because of the doctrine that was taught to us. The way they broke down John 3:16, for God so loved the world, and it brought everybody into the fold. But how can you be into a fold and be in one body and spirit with, like Ephesians 4:4 say, you know, that's one of our famous saying is in the UPK, one body, one spirit, things of that nature. How can we be one body and one spirit with someone who hates us and wants nothing but to unalive us? How can we be one body, one spirit with that person? Now, think about it. He not trying to be one body with you, but you are fighting with every fiber of your being to be in one body with him. So if you fighting hard to be in one body with him, you got to do what? You have to take on his spirit. You have to take on his spirit to be one body with him. Again, he's not fighting to be one body with us. We're fighting to be one body with him. So you have to take on his spirit. That's why we love Christianity. because we get to worship oppressor Christ. What else is it about Christianity? Christianity hates black people. That is a fact. They blame they blame every negative thing that goes on in our community on us. They don't have a solution. They don't realize, well, they starting to realize it now. They are the problem. They the problem. It's not the younger generation fault that came up after you. It's your fault. Y'all set the stage for integration. That was that was Christianity's idea to love the oppressor. That's their idea. Nobody thought of that. Uh, all that civil rights movement and all that old nonsense. You got the Bible. Why you ain't do what the Lord said do? The Lord said we supposed to be a separate nation of people. That's what the Lord said do. The Lord said separate. Instead of doing what the Lord said do, y'all came up with integration. How in the hell can we be successful? Y'all came up with integration, and the oppressor gave us the crack epidemic. And instead of taking the responsibility and saying, you know what, we made a mistake, we shouldn't have done this. Let's fix the problem before it gets out of control. Y'all just blamed the younger generation. When that happened on your watch and you set the stage to let such a thing happen. All right. Block, give me 1 second to make sure I don't got no questions online. Just make sure I ain't got no questions online. Read to Bob. Yep, let me just make sure we don't got no questions, man. Yeah. So they set the stage for this thing, man. They didn't it wasn't the younger generation because we was too young to understand what was going on. So how in the hell can it be something that we did? Nah, nobody, they effed it up and none of them want to take the blame for it. So they just blamed it on the next generation. Okay. That's what they did. Because what? Because it's easier that way. It's easier that way. It's easier to just blame it on the generation coming up after them. After they set the stage for all these things. This is what we look at when we look outside our window. This is a result of what they done, of what they set up for us. And nobody holds the Christian church responsible for this, man. Except for the men in the UPK, man, under Commander General Yohana. Because somebody got to say what we were doing, whatever, even if you was whatever, it failed. It does not matter. It failed, and it failed horrible, and it wiped out generations of black men, man. It destroyed all kind of black families, man. The damage it done to the Lord's people, man. It, it's almost unrepairable. It's almost unrepairable. Think about the drugs. Think about abortions. Think about think about how many men it took out of the household. The scriptures say what? You cannot you cannot overtake a strong man's home unless you first do what? Bind the strong man. They stolen the strength from our men, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I go to work. No, I wasn't going to work. Actually, I was coming to my job to pick up my work schedule. Is what I was doing. So the brother is out there. So at first they arguing. He out there arguing with his girl, man. And then I come back outside. Now they fist the cuffs. Now the brother, he really didn't want to, knock his girl out like he probably could have, because he put on some gloves. He put on boxing gloves because he ain't now. She's trying to fight, and he trying to put on boxing gloves. They stolen these things. These are people that's in the world. Think about if that brother was in here. He really want to control this woman, but he don't know how. He don't understand how to do it. Of course, I couldn't just let him bust his girlfriend in the head like that. I'm like, brother, that might not be something you want to do. Just kind of chill out on that. You don't want to, because he already didn't want to do it because he put on boxing gloves. So he really don't want to rock her the way he probably could have. But think about before integration. You think we was doing all that nonsense? Think about before Sexy Red and Carla B. You think like, come on, man. Black black people, that is not how we've conducted ourselves. We conducted ourselves in that manner because we have joined ourselves to this bastard. That's why. We never treated our women like that, man. That's not something we did. It's not what we did, man. We have because of these false philosophies that's been put into us, it's done nothing but destroy us, man. We've never go look before integration. We never had these problems that we have today. That's how you know integration was something that we wasn't supposed to do. That's how you know this Bible is real, because the Lord ain't tell us to integrate, man. The Lord told us to separate. That's what the Lord told us to do, man. And because we joined, and because instead of separating, we decided to integrate, this brother and his girl is in the middle of the goddamn gone street fighting. Looking ridiculous. It's all outdoors. And all I kept thinking to myself, like, the oppressor is because if we had our way, if we had our culture and done things the way that we're supposed to do things, if the oppressor didn't steal those things away from us, that would not be going on. You know what else? The drugs that hurt our community, whether it's the crack epidemic, the heroin epidemic from the 60s and the 70s, the way those things affected our lives, those things would not have done it, man. I was talking to a brother the other day, and we was really talking about like, damn, if we really just knew who we was. I said, if we really just knew who we was, man, and we opened up this Bible and really understood who we were, that would stop a lot of the attacks that the enemy use against us. It would actually stop a lot of it, because we would be able to go into the scriptures and say, oh no, they tried this move before. We ain't gonna allow that to work. They done this before. No, we ain't gonna, because that's one of the things that I really understand that make the Bible so great to me. A lot of the things that we go through today, it's all in here. They just running the same playbook. We just don't know it because we don't know who we are. And that's why they hide who we are. Because if we know who we are, then we see all this nonsense coming. We see it coming. Okay? Where we live, Salakia. We start back from the top, verse 7. It says, therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. As I live, said the Lord, surely because my flock has become a prey, Salakia, and my flock has become meat to every beast of the field. And when it say also, just one more quick thing. When it say become meat to every beast of the field, meaning we became every nation devours us, man. Why do you think every nation moves into our community? They come into our community, get rich off of us. That's what they do. They come into our community and get rich off of us, man. That's why I say we get devoured by every beast of the field. Because they take the money that they make off of us, and they go take it back to their community and build their neighborhoods up. Meanwhile, we stuck starving in the ghetto. And not to mention, a lot of them come over here and they're able to do that because they go through the oppressor, and the oppressor put them in our neighborhood and set them up like that. Meanwhile, you and me try to go get something to open up a business in our neighborhood. We get told no. He brings them over from another country and set them up in our neighborhood. That's what integration did. That's integration. Integration allowed the oppressor to decide who can set up businesses in our neighborhood. That's integration. And you trying to tell me the oppressor ain't the devil? Nah, that person is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. All these things are purposely done. He looked at us and monitors us when there was no integration. And he said, well, God, well, I'll be damned. With everything that's going on, these people are still building great cities. If we leave them alone, guess what would have happened without integration? Eventually, we would have united amongst ourselves. And we would have built great cities and towns. No oppressor would have been allowed in it. The oppressor needed integration. We did not. We didn't need integration. So why do we get integration? We got integration because of somebody's lust for oppressor women. Somebody's lust to be accepted by the oppressor. It wasn't a good thing, something that was positive for us as a people. It was something that was positive for someone's lust. couldn't take it, wanted to be over there with the oppressor. He ain't want to be around these niggas. He wanted to be over there with the oppressor. It must have, to him, when he looked at the oppressor must have had a glow, a glowing light around him. Not like these, not like these Negroes over here, man. Not like these Negroes over here. Oh, hell no. I'll be doggone. I have no clue how to work this dang on thing. I'm trying to see if y'all have some questions. Salakia, give me a second. Let me check to see if there's any questions. Christian people and white people. Kazak said, is this talking to Christian people and white people? It's talking about Christian people. And white people just want Salakia, and the oppressor people is just the ones that gave us this nonsense. So they kind of one in the same. So they kind of one in the same. All right. Where we at? Because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock. But the shepherds fed themselves and fed not the flock. And that's what happened, man. And that is what happened, man. Our leaders, our so-called black leaders, man, they fed themselves. Because the truth be told, guess what? They didn't have an answer. They didn't have no real answer, man. They didn't have a real solution because the Bible is the solution, right? And instead of using the Bible and instead of teaching the Bible the way the Lord wanted it to be taught, what did they do? They used the Bible to show that, to teach us how to join hand to hand with everybody. That's what they did, man. They used the Bible to teach us how to join hand to hand with everybody and love everybody. And in the process, what do? We start loving everybody else so much, we forgot how to love ourselves, man. We forgot how to love ourselves. We we forgot to give ourselves love. We stopped we stopped looking at other nations as the problems. We stopped looking at them as like, dang, they coming in and taking over. We start looking at each other as the problem. While we was looking at each other as the problem, they came in and took everything from right from up under our noses. And because we thought what? We thought loving everybody was the answer. was the solution, we sat back and did nothing. No fight. No, hold on, wait a minute. How is they coming in and we can't even buy our own gas stations? All our fight was gone, man. Because what? Our strength, which lied in the scriptures, it was used to do what? To tell us how much loving everybody would solve all our problems. When that's not of the Lord. That's why think about this. The Lord separated the nations, right? The Lord separated the nations in the beginning and gave everybody their own land. Why then all of a sudden would he want everybody together? That makes no sense. Think about the Tower of Babel when we was together. He crushed the Tower of Babel and separated us again. Scattered the languages. At that point, remember, it was one language. He said, hell no. Probably gonna have their own different language. Think about when we went into Egypt. Joseph said, nah, y'all don't come over here with the Egypts. Y'all go over here into your own little area and spot. Like that has been something. When you read these scriptures, man, that is something. Separation is something the Lord has always done. That's something the Lord always done. So why in the hell would all of a sudden out of the clear blue sky somebody come around and say the Lord want all of us to come together when the Lord has always separated all of the nations? That makes absolutely no sense, man. All right. Verse 9. Therefore, all you shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. And that's what we was reading about earlier, man. The Lord said he causing them to cease from feeding the flock. That's why all them churches is closing down, man. That's why the Lord is removing all them pastors out from their positions in their seat, man. It's time to get down to the Lord's business, man. And the Lord is removing all this other stuff because all that other stuff does what? It interferes in the Lord business, man. We don't need no more stupid Christians, no more stupid Christianity, no more none of that stuff, man. It's just it's something that's in the way, man. It's something that hurts us, man. And it hurts us because it doesn't bring us together. It does not bring us together. And we need each other, man. For the time that's coming ahead, man, we gonna need each other, man. We gonna need to be in that one body, everybody focused on the Lord, man. We gonna need every single brother and sister, man. And we all need to be crying out with a loud voice to the Lord, man. Showing him that we doing what? That we keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, and that we doing the things that he said do. That's what we need to be doing, man. That's what it's time for. For us to start coming out of all of this. Think about what has your religion, whatever it is that you in, what has it done for you, man? What has it really done for his people, for your people? Just make you feel good? What's the work being done behind it, man? We go out there and we try to wake brothers and sisters up, man. If you a brother or sister and you just tired of sitting around doing nothing, come in here, man. Come join the UPK. This is the only school that gets out there and does something. Everybody else is just looking to get something. And here it's not about what we get. It's about what we give that makes the difference, man. It's about what we give that make the difference, man. All right. But the shepherds fed themselves and fed not my flock. Verse 9. It says, therefore, O ye shepherds, hear the word of the Lord. Verse 10. Thus saith the Lord thy God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand and cease them. Oh, Salakia, I read that already, Salakia. Oh, no, Salakia. And cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore, for I will destroy. Salakia. I'm just going to start back at the top. Verse 10. It says, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and I will cause them to cease from feeding the flock. Neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore. And that's another thing, right back. It says, neither shall the shepherds feed themselves anymore, and they not. It says, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth. And that's what the Lord is doing. It says that they may not be meat for them. That we will not be meat for them anymore, man, because that's all we've been inside of this kingdom, man. To every religion inside. Do the Bible is not a religious book. This is a book of laws, history. This is a book for the Israelites, man. This is the book about a people and for a people. It's just that the oppressor got his hand on it, and now he putting his spin on it. And then he put his money behind the people that he put on TV who we idolize and worship. It's like just like one big plan to use the scriptures to destroy us, man. When if we operate the way the Lord wants us to operate, we would see such a change in not just in the entire earth, man. In the entire earth. Okay. Let's get Colossians 2 and 8. Colossians 2 and 8. All right. Colossians 2 and 8, it reads, it says, beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceit. What does it mean when it says vain deceit? Vain deceit meaning what? Meaning nonsense. Don't let nobody spoil you through their foolishness. Don't let nobody spoil you telling you that when you die, you come back as a tree. Let nobody spoil you through that nonsense. Don't let nobody spoil you telling you if you blow yourself up, you're going to wake up to 70 virgins. Don't let nobody spoil you through that nonsense, man. Don't follow garbage like that. That stuff is man made mumbo jumbo. That stuff ain't of the Lord, man. That's not in the scriptures. Not to mention, ain't no brother going. Brother be like, okay, I follow. He might follow Islam to some degree. He ain't about to strap no bomb, but you get what I'm saying, man. Don't follow that nonsense. Don't follow Islam at all. Okay. It says after the traditions of man, which is a lot of the things that we follow, man. It's a lot of old sayings and things of that nature. Think about think about how long we thought the rapture was a real thing inside of the Bible until the UPK started bringing out ain't no rapture in the Bible. It's not even the word rapture in the Bible. Think about how long you thought you was gonna be standing there and then you was just gonna disappear. Not to mention, think about this. Think about how many brothers and sisters still believe that. Think about how many brothers and sisters believe before with everything that's going on and it all being in the Bible, they still think that they're gonna disappear before God judged the earth. And God is moving on that right this second. The Lord is moving on that right this second. We know we getting closer to the end on this thing. And if they rapture thing was real, they probably should be gone by now. I guess I don't know. I just know that nonsense is not in the Bible. It's a bunch of foolishness, man. It is a vain philosophy that they are following. Okay? Don't let nobody deceive you like that. All right? And with that, I'm going to close the class. Shalom, Israel, the water, y'all.